the worst client we had was a guy that they said he could not stay anywhere for over a week. He came into our home. He was cutting up at first. We ended up calling the police. He left. His case manager called back, please, you know, I really think that you guys can do him some good. Please let him come back. So we let him come back.
Hold on. When he first came, they said, yo, he can't stay anywhere for a week.
Yeah, he couldn't stay anywhere longer than a week.
Just based on his track record, or like
his
diagnosed?
No, his track record. Because he would end up fighting people, throwing stuff at them, just doing all kinds of stuff, And so he came back. We all sat down around the room and had a conversation with him. And then he stayed probably 2 weeks with no incidents. And then he started lashing out. Did another intervention, set the tone with him. This time we, put some parameters on him. And I don't want to get too much into detail, but this man stayed with us about 90 days with no incident. And his doctor was like, he would be on Zoom and he would leave out. His doctor said, whatever y'all doing, keep doing it. Because nobody has been able to get through to him. So eventually he did end up, he punched one of our ladies. Yeah.
Staff member?
He punched her and he kicked her in the stomach. Yeah. And then when our administrator came in to the house, he took a glass and threw it at her, which it wasn't supposed to be glass there anyway, but that's another story. But yeah.
Oh my God.
This is the type of person, he was. Well, the police ended up taking him, took him down, put him in a center, and then they released him. And the administrator went and looked for him, brought him back. We kept him again.
Really?
Because this is our passion. We are the group homes that take the hard cases. So that's why we stay full, because we take hard cases.
Welcome to another edition of the SocialProof podcast, where we find dope people that did dope stuff, and today's no different, right? You dope.
Of course.
You did some really, really cool stuff. And we're about to get into the group home business model. Yes, group homes. Can you tell me what a group home is? First off, introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Myrrie Hayes. I am better known as the group home queen. Yes, I am. I like to kind of give a little background in my introduction. So I am the daughter of Fanny and Isaac Metcalf. I got to give honor to my parents, like we in church. I am the mother of 6. I am the grandmother of 6. And I took a $12,500 investment and I turned it into a multi-million-dollar business.
Wow. So I want to get into that investment, but what is a group home exactly?
A group home is a residential facility. Well, yeah, residential facility where you take care of clients, mostly on a 24/7 basis. Yeah.
So what type of people are in a group home?
It kind of depends on what type of group home you do. Me, myself, I do behavioral health. So I choose to do SMI clients, which are severely mentally ill clients. These are people dealing with like severe depression, schizophrenia, things like that. And we take care of them and help them, I guess, manage their illness.
All right. So, because I've had people, I know some people that said things like, yo, I grew up in a group home. Joe, didn't you work with group homes? Didn't you? What did you do? Your camera looks crazy, by the way. You were what? He was a residential advisor in a group home. So, okay. So explain your residential advising. What's that?
Was it for kids? Yeah.
So while they fix that,
now I do adults. I tried kids.
I thought group homes was all kids for some reason.
No.
Maybe because it's only people that I know that when they tell their story, like I was living in a group home.
Yeah, a lot of homes are for kids because it's such a big need. But me, I choose to do adults. Like I said, I try kids. Not my cup of tea.
Gotcha.
Not my cup of tea.
All right.
Yeah. So I like doing adults.
So when you first started, you had kids group home?
No. I actually started with an assisted living, which was seniors, people 65 and up. So that's where I started.
Okay, hold on. But it's the same concept, group home and assisted living? So so the only thing that determines what you call it is the age group?
Yeah, in a sense. A group home for seniors would be considered an assisted living home.
Okay.
A group home for adults, group home residential facility. People call it different names. It's all a group home. It's people living together that aren't related, that are being taken care of on a consistent basis.
Gotcha.
So that's basically what a group home is.
Gotcha. So you have 10 of them, right?
Yes.
How many people does an average group, or yours? How many people do yours hold?
We try to stick around 5.
Okay.
We do have 2 right now with 8. And you can add more. We could have 10, in some areas, because we have them in different cities. Different cities have different rules. So me, myself, I don't want 10 SMI clients in a home. So I choose to cap at 8, and the majority of mine are at 5.
Are at 5. So how many clients do you have total amongst these 10 group homes? What, like 60?
I have 56.
50, yeah. Multiple 7-figure business with 56 people that you take care of.
Yeah.
That's lit.
Yeah, it's pretty lit.
All right, so I need to know how this works. For one, when I hear SMI, which is
severely
mentally ill, the picture, I don't like the picture that it paints in my mind.
You could be severely. I mean, honestly, some people in
No,
I didn't mean to say it like that.
Come on the show in such disrespect. You look a little.
What I'm saying is, there are some people that you actually cannot tell that they have issues. You would be sitting down. I mean, I've taken clients to a doctor's office, and people in the office would be talking to them like normal, and then they'll say something way out there, and the person will look at them and I'll just be like, this person is a client. Oh, okay. Because, you can't tell people what's going on in their lives because of HIPAA. But
what do you mean? Like, so you're saying like some people can have a conversation and something will trigger the person?
Yeah, it'll trigger them, or they'll be basically normal. Some of the people in our homes function at a normal level most days, and then they'll go into a manic state, and it's like something will throw them off.
What is manic?
Manic is when it's kind of like, say you get stressed and you just lash out. Like, I'll give an example. One lady, she was fine, and then she would go into a manic state. She would start eating toilet paper. So it just depends on what the trigger is and what maybe trauma they went through in their childhood, or it might be domestic violence. It could be a number of things. I grew up with a sister that was bipolar schizophrenic, and she would be fine. She was a genius. She would be fine. She worked government jobs, but then around a certain time of year, she would go into a manic state. She would drive down the highway going the wrong way. She would, kidnap her son and run off, and she would just do all kinds of things. And it's like a chemical imbalance in their mind or something that throws them off.
Oh my gosh. And you were saying your sister, it's like a certain time of year.
Yeah, it would always kind of be a certain time of year.
Let me ask you this, and this is you growing up with your sister. Was it always that way?
Since I was born. I mean, I don't know. She was 22 years older than me.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I'm the baby of 14.
Yeah.
So she was the oldest sister.
But in your line of work, you've seen, I mean, like how early have you seen this start? Or is this somehow learned?
I think sometimes it starts at a young age, but people don't realize that it's an actual illness. You know, like with her, she was just very eccentric. She would do certain things when she would dress, you know, kind of weird at times, you know. And then as she got older and went to the military and things like that, she got diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenia.
Yo, you know what's so crazy? As I'm talking to you right now, there are multiple people that are popping in my head where, you know, it's like you can be having a conversation with somebody or, you know, like someone's like really spazzing out and you're like, yo, why is that person doing that? And you don't really chalk it up to a severe mental illness. You're like, yo, that person just, okay, they just spazzed, they had a bad day.
Right.
But tell me your thoughts on Kanye West from a professional perspective.
I just think Kanye West, to me, it seems like just what I know of him. He lost his mom. You know, he dealing with some people take things a different way. You know, so that could have triggered something for him. You know, and my thing is, I don't try to, because I'm not a professional where I can diagnose somebody. So I don't try to diagnose anybody. I just take people as they are because everybody's dealing with some type of issue.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's a fact. So you didn't need a certification to get into this business? Like you personally?
You can get certifications. Me personally, no, I have an MBA. You know, my sister's a nurse. My sister works with me. Me and her are partners. She's a RN.
Okay.
You know, but me myself, I'm an MBA. I did the financial part. She did the clinical part, and it just kind of worked out.
That's actually pretty exciting for entrepreneurs that are watching because you don't have to like go to school and get certified as long as you have a heart to help people and you kind of like understand the model which we will go through. Right. I think it could be a lucrative business that allows you to kind of operate out of, you know, a sense of purpose too. Right. So tell me about, so what were you doing before these group homes?
I was in banking.
Really?
Yeah, before I started the group home, I was actually working for Wells Fargo. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my Wells Fargo people. I know people don't like that bank, but
what year was this?
2015.
2015. So walk me through like getting, you know, where'd you get the idea from and how'd you start getting into it?
Well, I had an assisted living home. Like I said, I was taking care of senior clients.
You owned it?
Yes.
While you were working at Wells Fargo?
Yes. Yes. I was doing both. I was working. It was me and a partner. We were doing 12 hours, 12 hours, 12 hours, 7 days a week. And I was working Wells Fargo doing that.
What?
So I took the night shift because I had to work Wells Fargo to get my business going. You know, I had to.
When did you sleep?
I slept. I took like cat naps. I would leave for lunch and take a nap. I would take a nap. I would come home. I would shower. I would get dressed. I would go to work, and then I would take a nap in the middle of the night.
How long did you do this?
About a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to back even further. How did you get into the assisted living facility?
Talking with a friend, which was the RN, and me and her were like, let's try to get into this group home thing, you know, do an assisted living home. And she has a passion, you know, for people also. So we just researched it, hired a consultant who took our money.
In a negative way?
In a negative way.
Really? They didn't help?
Yeah, she she had never owned, and that's to do your research when you hire consultants, because she had never owned a group home herself. And
they call them coaches these days online.
Yeah.
Yo, no lie. This is no shade to the person. And if the person's there, they were working at a fast food restaurant. And he, my friend, he said, yo, the guy that works at a fast food restaurant, he said, yo, he's about to get into coaching. Like high ticket coaching. So I think his first client was like $10,000.
Oh.
So he's charging people $10,000. He probably don't make that in 6 months. But coaching, right? Because you have some information that you want to share and you just put a price on it, which I'm not, maybe we need to have a conversation about that at some point. But that's not about this. Okay, so she took your money.
She did. $8,000 is what we paid her at the time. She took our money. She had teamed up with another woman who knew what she was doing. We ended up firing her. And then the other woman actually came back and was like, hey, I really want to help you guys. I like you guys. Till this day, we're still friends.
Oh, wow.
But so anyway, I'm running my assisted living home.
No, it's too fast. Too fast.
Okay,
too fast.
Sorry.
You're working a job. You have an idea. You hire a consultant. The first step, do we buy a building or do we lease a building?
No, we actually rent it.
Okay.
Yeah, we rented a not a building, just a home.
Okay.
4-bedroom, 2-bath home. And we decide we're going to do 5 beds, according to regulations in the city we were in.
You had to go through the process of approval, right?
Yep.
And I'm asking
to go through the licensing.
Right. Okay.
All
Gotcha.
of that.
Gotcha.
So all of that process, policies and procedures. So all of that process. And then we got our inspection done. Took a whole entire day them to come in, go through all our stuff. And then we were licensed. We got our license on Christmas Eve. And then we actually got our first client on the day after New Year's.
How'd you get your first client?
We had been out marketing with different people, and a woman came to us. She wanted us to take care of her mom. And she was my first client. I love that lady.
And what did that marketing look like?
Going out, networking at different events, just taking our flyers in the doctor's offices, hospitals, things like that.
Gotcha.
Just grassroots.
So we got licensed for our home healthcare business. And this sounds like so much like what my wife is going to be doing. She's pregnant now, so I can't push her like a client. You know what I mean? I can't, I want to say yo, let's get out here and ride. So, but I think that'd be encouraging. So we'll be on this plane tonight and we'll talk. I mean, yeah. Okay. So she'll be there. Okay. All right. So you get your first client. Obviously, after your first one, you just get a second and a third and a fourth.
And then my sister, the one with mental illness, she calls me one day and she says, I'm coming to Arizona and you're going to take care of me. And I was like, what? Just out the blue. And so she jumps on a plane with her Bible in her purse and she shows up in Arizona. And so I pick her up at the airport and I'm like, where's your stuff? She said, this is all I need. Her Bible in her purse. So she was a vet. So I'm like, she has to be on medication. So I take her to the VA. We get her checked, they get her some meds. And then she's like, you have an assisted living home. This is what you do. You're going to take care of me. So I get her to the house and come to find out she has bladder cancer. Yeah. I didn't know. 3 months later, she passed away right there in my assisted living home. Don't get me to crying.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So.
Man, I think it works out that way sometimes because it would have been tragic if you didn't know. And something prompted her to say, I need to be, if something's happening, I need to spend my last times with family.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe like some sort of inkling. My mom went through the same thing. Like she didn't like she was on a decline, but she was at an assisted living facility. And for some reason, she was just like, yo, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. A lot of people, my family was like, yo, that's the best place to take care of. She's like, I want to come home. She was like, yo, either my house or my brother's house. And my brother was like, yo, I'll take her. So she went there, and not long after, she passed. Wow. But I think it was something in her that says
she wanted to be home.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, listen, every single week, every episode, you hear me talking about themorningmeetup.com. It's the community. Let me show you what's happening here. Every single morning, Monday through Friday, there's 400 plus people on a Zoom call, right? We're learning, we're talking, we're growing together, and this is you. There's all these people here. It's all these people in the morning meetup. Hundreds of people reading books, growing. We get together quarterly. It's amazing. And for some reason, you just keep looking at, just go to themorningmeetup.com and get in the circle. And then you'll be like way happier. Just themorningmeetup.com. Let's get back to the episode.
My question is, when your sister said, yo, you're going to take care of me, is there already funding for the government to give you to take care of your sister, or was you out of pocket?
No, she told my sister's like, I paid my way. She said, how much do you charge? And so I told her at the time she had a private room. I said, it's $5,000. And she was like, well, do I get a family discount? Even in her manning,
Right.
I said,
right. Snap out of that. Hold on. The numbers, the math.
Right. I said, yeah, you get a family discount. So I gave her a discount, and she paid her way those 3 months.
Really? $5,000 a month?
Yeah. I mean, it was a bad area I was in. I'll say that.
Right.
It's more than that now.
It's more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing with assisted livings, with behavioral health, location doesn't matter. With assisted living, location matters.
Hold on. So you were charging $5,000 a month?
A bed.
Yeah. A bed. Mm-hmm. So the first lady, was she paying out of pocket? So the government don't pay for this?
Okay. So the government pays only so much with assisted livings. Like at the time, if we would have went through Medicare, they would have paid $2,100 a month. So most assisted living is out of pocket.
Really?
Yeah. And people be paying $10,000, $15,000 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you charge now, just on average?
Well, I get paid through the state now. So
what do they pay you?
They pay me about $7,000 a month per person.
Per person. Mm-hmm. So every house that you get, if it's 5 people there, they'll pay you $35,000. Mm-hmm. Out of that $35,000, what does it cost you to operate it?
About $12,000.
Word. Mm-hmm. 12 from 35.
They're real low maintenance. Like group homes are very low maintenance.
Yes.
All you gotta do is give them food, bedding, hygiene, outings every now and again, and that's it.
Right. And we furnished the house for under $2,000.
Word.
Oh, we got it down now.
So, let's just say with this particular model, at $23,000 profit, 4 homes with 5 people in it make you $1 million.
Pretty much.
20 clients. Somebody's at the door. 20 clients. You could have $1 million business.
Basically. Yeah.
Net. That's like coming home.
Yeah. Now I will be honest. In my business, we do extras. So we have like equine therapy. We do things that the state don't pay for. Yeah, and that's only because this is my passion.
For sure. Yeah. Okay, so you're doing assisted living, but your sister isn't necessarily assisted living qualified.
Right. She was.
Was that an issue with the state? Like they approved it for this, and you're doing this?
Don't be saying that on camera.
I want to be legal.
She was my sister.
Of course. But let me ask this question: mm-hmm. Can you have assisted living and just have, let's say, a teenager.
Actually, honestly, my sister was a senior.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, she's a lot older than me.
Yeah.
So that would have been okay.
Right.
And she was private pay.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you can't mix kids and adults.
Okay.
Yeah, you cannot do that.
Can you mix adults and seniors?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But like with the house I have now, the group homes I have now, kind of caps at about 65.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then they move on to an assisted living.
I see. Okay, so group home caps off at about 65. After that, you go to assisted living.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so eventually you get the one client. Mm-hmm. And was your sister your second client, or you already had?
No, I had clients.
Gotcha.
This was like.
Was this all still in your first house?
This is all in my first house. So then, after my sister passed, my very first client, she passed, and I was just like, I don't want to do this.
Yo, yeah. Oh my gosh, that business must be heavy.
It is. It really is. And just the morning and people coming in, you know, and me grieving my sister, it was like, I can't do this. So I was trying to think, how can I still take care of people, but not in this capacity? Mm-hmm. So then me and the sister that's right over me, we start talking about behavioral health. Start researching it, and then we decided, let's open a behavioral health group home. So that's how I got into behavioral health. So we started with one rented home. The woman wanted $10,000 down, $2,500 a month for a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home.
$10,000. How much?
$2,500 a month.
$2,500 a month.
Yeah. And I mean, houses in this area normally rent for about $1,200 to $1,400. Mm-hmm. But because she knew we were doing a group home, because you have to put it in your lease. Mm-hmm. So she was like, I want $2,500 a month.
Dang.
Yeah.
That don't even seem legal. How you gonna just charge more just because of what you're doing with it?
People do it. Yeah, people do it every day.
Well, have you learned not to say that now? Like, yo, we just want to rent this house.
No, you can't. They have to put it in your lease. If you rent a home, before you turn your paperwork, it has to be in your lease.
Does everybody charge extra?
Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody just puts that extra tax on it.
Pretty much. I team up people now. And I'm like, you know, they're trying to do a group home. If you rent them a home, that's what they're going to be doing. And they'll be like, well, how much should I charge them? You know, and I try to not be, you know, too crazy.
Yeah.
But I've had people charge like $4,000 a month.
This is giving me another concept of maybe just getting in the real estate space and targeting group homes.
Yes.
Do you buy the real estate? Have you gotten into that part of like buying a real estate or?
Yes. Yeah. We have 2 now that we rent. Yeah. Everything else
you own. You're a boss. You're a boss out here.
Silly.
Goodness gracious. So you purchased 8 buildings and you leased 2. With the 8, you own the house and you're operating the business. Oh my gosh. Okay. So tell me the transition from the first home to the second home.
Okay. So we did the first home, Choya is what we call it. And then we decided to do a facility. It was an old school in Myrrh, Arizona. So a small town.
You live in Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay.
I live in Arizona. And so we started on that one, but it was kind of like we had to gut it, redo it, everything. So we ended up opening another home while we were opening the second home.
Wow.
Yeah. So that one got opened first, and then we finally got that one done after a year, and we opened that one.
Were those 2 leasing or buying?
The third one was leasing. The second one we started was buying.
The school?
Yeah, the school.
How much you get that school for?
Like $100,000.
What?
Yeah.
I get a school for $100,000.
Guess how much it's worth right now?
How much?
$800.
How big is it?
It's I can't even remember. What, 4,000 square feet? It's a small town, so it's not a huge school.
Dang, but that real estate
But
worth
look,
$800,000.
but recently I did.
Hold on. Did you unlock it? Yeah, yeah. All right, you got to be the door attendant. All right, cool. All right.
But recently I did buy another school, a whole city block in another town. Yeah.
But all Arizona, yes?
All Arizona. Yeah.
Wow.
We like Arizona. Arizona is
It's
very
been good to you.
friendly. Yes. Arizona is very friendly to licensed group homes.
So you buy the school and then you make like a bunch of rooms in the school.
Yes.
But you said you only take 8 clients at a time?
Yeah, we only took 8. In that place, we can get up to 12 if we want to. But it's like we have one community building and then we have the dorms.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't want to do more than 8. We still wanted to do 8.
Gotcha.
That's a lot of personalities.
Why not just hire more people?
It's not the point in people. It's the point in all these different personalities in one building. That's conflict. And I mean, me, myself, that's my model. Yeah. It's other people that have 10, people in each home that if they can get them in there.
Yeah.
That's not my model.
Got it. Give me one of the worst stories you've had.
Of a client?
Yeah. Because I could imagine all these different people in the group home. Mm-hmm. They all have some sort of mental ailment and they're like butting heads.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that there's a lot of fights unless you got security.
And that's the thing in our group home. When they come in, we set the tone. You have to take charge. You have to set the tone and you let them know. And then honestly, I think it's more of we get a lot of clients from predominantly
white folk.
I'm trying to say it politically correct.
Right.
And
the white folk.
And a lot of my employees are not. So, and it's things that we do to let them know we're a united front. Like we'll call, hey, something's going on at the house. Everybody that can get over there, and we go over there and just, even if it's just people standing in the room, to let them know we're not going to play this. You're not going to act all willy nilly. But I think the worst client we had was a guy that they said he could not stay anywhere for over a week. He came into our home. He was cutting up at first. We ended up calling the police. He left. His case manager called back, please, I really think that you guys can do him some good. Please let him come back. So we let him come back.
Hold on. When he first came, they said, yo, he can't stay anywhere for a week.
Yeah, he couldn't stay anywhere longer than a week.
Just based on his track record or like his diagnosed?
No, his track record. Because he would end up fighting people, throwing stuff at them, just doing all kinds of stuff, And so he came back. We all sat down around the room and had a conversation with him. And then he stayed probably 2 weeks with no incidents. And then he started lashing out. Did another intervention. Set the tone with him. This time we, put some parameters on him. And I don't want to get too much into detail, but this man stayed with us about 90 days with no incident. And his doctor was like, he would be on Zoom and he would leave out. His doctor said, whatever y'all doing, keep doing it. Because nobody has been able to get through to him. So eventually he did end up, he punched one of our ladies. Yeah.
Staff member?
Mm-hmm. He punched her and he kicked her in the stomach. Yeah. And then when our administrator came in to the house, he took a glass and threw it at her, which it wasn't supposed to be glass there anyway, but that's another story. But yeah.
Oh my God.
This is the type of person, he was. Well, the police ended up taking him, took him down, put him in a center, and then they released him. And the administrator went and looked for him, brought him back. We kept him again.
Really?
Because this is our passion. We are the group homes that take the hard cases. So that's why we stay full, because we take hard cases. And so he stayed with us a good while before he had to go into what they call ASH, which is like the state, hospital. And that's where he's at.
So what is your secret sauce of dealing with these clients? Because it's something that you know about mental illness and, dealing with people who have it. What's your secret sauce?
I think we bring them in and we treat them like I would treat my sister. We love on them. But we show them we're not going to tolerate. You're not going to do this. When they first come in, if there's somebody that's violent, I tell them, my employees are dear to me. Mm-hmm. You will not disrespect them. You will not cuss at them. You will not touch them. So we kind of set the tone when they initially come in. Some people are like, but then they see when they do something and we all show up at the house and stand around the room like, what are you doing? And have conversations with them. Then they're like, oh, okay. So they're serious. You're not allowed to put your hands on anybody. We don't put our hands on anybody or anything like that. To me, I think just people seeing a united force of people that are not going to tolerate these actions, I think it gets them to calm down.
Here's my question. This is like this is like always in my head. And I want to know how you deal with it. So with our home healthcare business, I'm thinking, how do we hire people that are going to care for the client the way they would care for somebody that they know and love? You know what I mean? So so you have a heart for people, right? But you have to instill those principles, or you got to hire the right people. I don't know. This is my question. How do you find the people that are going to take care of your clients and really care?
I mean, we post ads just like everybody else. Mm-hmm. You have your turnover, but then you have people that you bring them in, you train them, and you just tell them the importance. A lot of time I just get people to buy in because I meet with them. I tell them my story. I tell them about my sister, and I tell them I try to treat my clients as I would my sister. Mm. So it goes both ways. I still teach my employees, you can't treat these clients like any kind of way. So I do it with the client and I also do it with my employees. And it's basically just setting the tone when people come in. And honestly, I've had people that I've hired and I was just like, we're not a good fit. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to let you go. Yeah. Because you can't treat people any kind of way. Yeah. You gotta still show them respect.
But do you have like gatherings where you get people together, or do you do? It's something that you're doing to keep your business growing, because the lifeblood of any business is the people who actually operate the business. Mm-hmm. But it's like it's something that you're doing.
I mean, we have staffings where we bring people together once a month. Monday we have calls. Each house gets on and we go through, hey, what's going on in your house? So basically that's when I come into the office. Gotcha. Just on Mondays now. And we do Zoom calls. But we're always staying connected. They know that they can call.
You only work on Mondays?
Basically. No.
So, hold on. What you say? So what else do you do throughout the week?
In that business, I told you I do. We have consulting now, so I do consulting.
Hold on, yo. Hold on.
What?
You got 10 group homes, mm-hmm. And you come in on Monday. You have a meeting, mm-hmm. And you don't do nothing else in the business.
Don't say that. You making it sound. Don't make my people think I don't do nothing.
I mean, in your defense, though, it's once you like get it set and you get it set straight, it's not a lot of work. When I was a supervisor, I probably went into the group home maybe like once or twice a week. Other than that, I was at home just doing paperwork.
Yeah. And I don't do paperwork anymore because I have an executive team that does paperwork. So I don't have to do all that. But I love
this is crazy to me. Golly.
No.
You know, I can't come in here once a week and just do a podcast and then roll out and be like, all right, y'all, see y'all next week.
Don't make it seem like that.
You making it seem like that.
I work hard. I do consulting. So during the rest of the week, I might be meeting online with clients. I might be meeting with, networking, going out to lunch, different things like that. That's work.
I want to live your life. Oh my gosh. I want to live your life. So this group home model, you can get it to a point where it runs itself.
Basically, if you set up I have an awesome team.
Yeah.
I have 32 employees now, and that's within all my group homes and then my executive team. And they are awesome. They are.
Listen, if I was going to teach you how to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Like if I had a course teach you how to make $1 million a year positive, you're going to make $1 million. Would you give me 10,000? Of course you would. It's no brainer, right? So in a calendar year, we make 7 figures with the podcast. But there's 21 things that I extracted from that you're going to need to launch a podcast. But I only got time to give you 3 right now. One is you need a distribution platform. The distribution platform is what you upload your podcast to. That platform sends it to Spotify, Apple, Google Play, so that your supporters can actually listen to your podcast. You're also going to need a microphone. You need a really good microphone so it's crispy audio. And 3, you need an income strategy. This is not necessarily a hobby, unless you're going to make it a hobby. But I can teach you how I made the 7 figures with these 21 things. Now, the good news is you don't have to give me 10,000. My ebook is only $37, okay? So listen, go to podcastebook.com and get the 21 things that you need. And I can explain it in detail, all the things that you need, okay? Podcastebook.com. Let's get to the episode.
Give me your executive structure. It's you. You have 32 people.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some of the key people give me the executive roles.
Okay, so it's me. Mm-hmm. I'm technically the CFO. Mm-hmm. And then my sister.
Your CFO?
Uh-huh. My sister is the administrator. So
she don't do nothing either.
Oh, now she just got back from Jamaica. She does less than me. That's the thing. Yeah, because she has another nurse we hired, and he does the majority of the stuff. So people look at her and like, what do you do? I actually do stuff because I'm the face.
This is the littest business I've ever come across. Hold on real quick. Hey, Joe, I think we can start a group home, bro. Because you worked there.
I know it.
He came out of it he started working with us from the in an executive or a counselor.
I was a case manager.
The case manager
for defects.
We love case managers.
Of course you do.
Why?
That's where your clientele comes from.
That's where we get our clients from.
We call her. We would call her and say, "Hey, I got this." Well, in my case, I had kids, but an adult, and say, "Hey, I have this adult. This is their background. I'll send her all the paperwork. She review it, and I'm hoping and praying she takes them because I ain't got to be there after Friday after 5:00.
Dang! So your goal is to find people who will take your clients. Mm-hmm. Their goal is to get clients because they obviously that's their business.
Yeah.
Do you have the person that took your job? Do you know that person?
Yeah, I talk to him all the time.
All right, cool. Because if we start this business, he'll give us clients. Yes?
Absolutely. You go to the state. Listen, the state is in Georgia. They're in dire need right now.
Yes.
They have a program where you can get like $5,000 a weekend or a month. $5,000 a month to just watch a kid for a weekend.
No way.
I was talking about homeboy. He still works for DFAX. He was telling me last week or 2 weeks ago, $5,000 I think every weekend or every other weekend, something like that. I gotta get all the details, but it's $5,000. Just watch him for the weekend. You actually get a behavior aid that comes to you. You gotta be in church all day Saturday for us. The behavior aid will pick the kid up at like 6:00 in the morning, and then they'll drop the kid off at 9 whenever you get home. Say, hey, I'm on the way home. You text them, they'll drop the kid back off. So you pretty much just providing a place for them to lay their heads at night.
Are you teaching this stuff?
Yes.
So you do consulting, and do you have like a program or a course?
Yes.
Okay.
The group home playbook.
The group home playbook.
Yes.
I want that playbook. I gotta get my hands on that playbook. Because this seems like this. Yeah, it's got to be more than that. There's got to be more than.
I'm not gonna say it's easy work because, like, the first year and a half, 2 years, I worked my butt off. But it's like now, it's just paying off.
Gotcha. You're the CFO. Your sister's CEO.
Yeah,
Y'all
she's
really
the
do nothing.
administrator.
The administrator.
We
What does
just
that mean?
hired a new CEO. Administrator, you have to have an administrator. It's the person that kind of takes responsibility of the whole, licensed organization. So she's the administrator. We just hired a new CEO because my CEO left. And then we have a quality management nurse that oversees all of the clinical. We have a CIO. He handles all of our information.
Chief information.
And we
what type of information?
Just all of our policies, staying on top of regulations, all of that type of stuff. He does all of that. All our intranet, he does everything. And then we have a residential manager, and he manages all the house managers. Because I do a house manager model. You're not required to do a house manager model in behavioral health. You are in assisted living. But I do a house manager model where that house manager knows they get a salary and they know you are responsible for this house. Yeah. And then whoever's in the house, BHT or caregiver, depending on what type of house, because you can have within behavioral health, you can have personal care or just regular behavioral health. We have both. So if you're in personal care, you have to be a caregiver. You have to be certified. We have an academy. We can teach you how to do that. And then we have BHTs, which are people that, worked as behavioral health techs, and they have the certification for that.
Got it. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. And I'm saying it because there's going to be a certain group of people who have a passion for this.
Yes.
Right? Or they might be doing it right now with their family, friends, and they're taking care of certain people in their life, but they don't know that one, someone's paying for it. And two, the government might pay for you to take care of those people. How do you set it up to where it's not out of pocket for the client?
They have to actually get registered with the state. So they have to be on some type of health plan, the actual client, in order for you to receive reimbursement. Now, if you're somebody that wants to get that reimbursement, then you have to go through the state and get licensed, and I can teach you that.
Cool. What's the process of scaling the business, though? Because it seems like you're scaling pretty well.
It's the same. You just duplicate and just keep your costs down, so you end up building relationships, which I built a lot of relationships in the business. And it's, to me, it's easy to do. I honestly, I could probably have 50 group homes, but do I want to have 50
You don't
group
want to work
homes?
that hard.
Nah.
You don't want to do nothing.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
You want to live this beautiful,
I want to work on Monday.
Relax. The 1 hour work week. That's beautiful. All right. So are you always looking for real estate to buy for group homes, or are you just kind of when an opportunity comes about?
Yeah, when something good like that block we bought in cash.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You better stun on us.
But it was just an opportunity that came up, and we were like, really? Yeah, it dropped so low. Like, let's buy it. And we bought it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm not really looking now for opportunities, but if they come my way and it's a good deal, then.
So why did you decide to get into teaching? Like, why you get into the space of, like, I want to know the driving force behind you actually teaching now?
Because there's so many people out there that say, oh, I always wanted a group home, but it's so hard. And now I just want people to know that anything that's hard to get is gonna be lucrative. It's gonna be, it's gonna bring you a big return. So don't just stop just because it's hard to get a license. Go ahead and follow through. So I like to show people it's not easy, but I kind of show them how easy it is in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. It is easy.
And then
But you gotta say it's not easy though.
Yeah, but so many people was hearing our story too that they were approaching us saying, "Hey, can you show us how to do this, or can you do it for us?" So then we were like, "Okay," and we just started a consulting business, and now we
Gotcha.
scaled that, and we're making money off of that too now.
You scaled your consulting business. How'd you do that?
Really, we didn't do it. People just
Do you have
I
other
teamed
coaches?
up with Neo.
Oh yeah, Neo do it
And
every time.
Neo's like, "Oh, you better do this. So last month I did like 140,000 last month just in my consulting business.
Oh wow. Are you doing the consulting yourself? Do you have a team of people that you've trained?
It's 3 of us
It's 3 of
doing
you.
the consulting right now. I'm still like, I'm looking for an assistant because people keep telling me I need an assistant, and I'm looking for like a couple of virtual assistants.
Joe, you want to do it?
Of course. It's passion, baby.
It's passion. God. Did you get like a funny feeling in your chest when she started talking about it? Like, this is my thing.
That's all I've been thinking about the whole episode.
That's crazy. Okay, I do gotta ask this question. So tell me about your program and how it works. And my question is, can my friends have a discount?
Of course. Well,
There we go.
it's just a program to show you just the play on how to get started in your group home journey for a licensed group home. I like to tell people it's not an unlicensed, it's a licensed group home. So it just walks you through.
Hold on. So there is an unlicensed group home as well?
People have unlicensed group homes, like, like transitional homes and things like that. Some states you don't have to be licensed. You just market it and say, "Hey, I got a home and I can put 8 people in it." And then those people pay you rent. But I would rather have guaranteed money than to be worrying about somebody paying me, $500 a month. I know my money's coming.
Got you. Okay. All right. So where's the website? And can you use like promo code SocialProof?
We can do that.
Okay. Just promo. I don't care. I don't know what the discount is. You don't even have to discuss it. Go back to your team, figure it out. But I had to ask.
Of
you know
course.
What I mean? Because these like people will listen to us every single week, and I just want to make sure they get some love. That's cool?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll give you guys a real good discount. But go to grouphomequeens.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Get Donnie, please. Grouphomequeens.com.
Yep.
So why Group Home Queens? It ain't for kings?
I'm a queen, and
I know.
and my team is
It's all women?
The consulting team is all women.
Well, what about us?
Hey, when I find a man that can do consulting with me, then I'll put queen/king.
I got you. Okay, so grouphomequeens.com and enter code SocialProof, and it'll take some sort of discount off. Okay, cool. I got to do a quick commercial as we wrap up, but I'm gonna ask you another. I'm gonna do a commercial. And I'm gonna ask you one more question, and then we're gonna make sure people understand what they're getting themselves into in terms of this group home model. Okay. So this episode is sponsored by the Morning Meetup. TheMorningMeetup.com is the only organization that gathers every single day for the betterment of entrepreneurs. And you know what? You'd be a great person to be on the Morning Meetup call.
Ooh.
Every morning at 8 a.m., we are teaching entrepreneurship. Every morning, Monday through Friday. And it's a dope community. It's literally hundreds of people. I think it was like 430 people on this morning. Every morning, Monday through Friday. So trying to make a safe space for entrepreneurs to grow, get information, collaborate, connect. And we actually have a book club where we all read together. So it's probably the largest Black book club in the world because we actually read a chapter and we discuss the chapter that we read the night before every single day. You'll jump on the call, right?
Of course.
There it is. Listen, man, y'all gonna see her on the call. Also, if you like this episode, or you like the channel, like, subscribe, please hit the little bell button, hit the follow button on your podcast app. We would really, really appreciate that. Also, send me a text message, 404-737-4935. Okay, last question. I want to know where you see yourself in the next 5 years or what you see accomplishing in the next 5 years. Because I want to be able to watch this interview 5 years from now and say, listen, I talked to her and she said she was going to do it. And look, she did it.
So I would say in the next 5 years, Best Care Behavior Homes as you know it will probably be sold.
I like the way you think. You are some real boss, like.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of offers. So
really?
Oh, yeah.
You're getting offers now?
Yeah.
What's somebody offer you? Maybe you ain't take it. Give me one.
No.
Give me one offer.
No.
You ain't take it.
No.
8-figure offer?
No. My consultant told me not to release numbers.
Okay. Okay. What was your lowest offer?
My lowest offer was $3 million.
Lowest offer.
That was my lowest offer.
You laughed at that.
And I went, no.
Yo, when they want to, let me ask you this too. Like, if you sell the business, does it come with the real estate?
Yes.
So they have to buy the real estate and the business.
Yeah, and then the lease, they have the option to keep the lease. We've already talked to the landlords. Remember, I told you we're leasing.
Oh, the 2 leases. Okay, yeah. I got you. Yeah. Dang, this is lit. I don't think I got no $3 million offers for anything I have. Nobody wants to give me $3 million. Okay, so business sold. What else?
And our consulting business will be ultimately what I want to do. And this is what's in my mind. I want to build a community. What you're going to do? Yeah, what I'm going to do. Okay, what I'm going to do.
I got you.
I want to build a community nationwide to where we can team up people that own real estate with people that have the passion, with people that have money, and just team it up together. And maybe that person invest, say, hey, I'm going to invest and I want to return quarterly for 5 years, and have the person that has the real estate, have that person that has the passion, put the group home in their real estate. They get a good, lease amount. And then that person that has the passion can run their business. But they give a piece to each person. So that's the type of community. I'm doing it on a small scale right now, but I want to do it on a big scale and maybe just have a couple of group homes in every state.
I love that. Listen, man, I am here to support you because I love what you're doing. It's a beautiful business model, and the way you carry entrepreneurship is very inspiring. Especially, I can imagine some women out here that are like looking at you like, yo, I want to be that. Like, not even the thing that you're doing, but like, you are a true inspiration because you carry your success with such grace. I like that. Okay. All right, cool. So listen, make sure y'all get started. There'll be a link, I'm sure, in the description somewhere. But thank you so much for coming. This is very enlightening and opening the eyes to not only me, but a lot of people. Like, yo, I can really make some money in something that I've thought about. Or there's a lot of people that work in this space right now. Like, yo, I didn't even think of it like that. Like, I could just start my own.
Right.
Why you ain't start your own, Joe? What do you think about that? I'll be an investor, okay? I'm gonna invest in it. You just gotta do your thing. All right, cool. All right, so yes, thank you so much. Let everybody know how they can find you, and then I want you to take us out with a word of wisdom.
Okay. So you can find me on social platforms as the Myrrie Hayes. And you can find me, I guess my website is the Myrrie Hayes too. And then the words of wisdom.
Close us out. There's somebody watching right now that needs a word of inspiration.
I would say, look, words of wisdom. My late father, Bishop Isaac Metcalf, used to always say, learn, love, and live. So what I've learned is that you reap what you sow. So I love that. I love that concept. So I'm always trying to be positive, put out positive things, give out positive information to people, because that's what I want to get back. And then I live it. So I learned it. I love it. I live it. So just know that you're going to reap what you sow. And as I always say in everything that I do, every video I make, be a blessing to someone else. Because when you're a blessing to someone else, you're going to get blessings back. And that's how I live.
There it is. Listen, we can't close it out no better than that. Do yourself a favor, okay? Go follow Myrrie, okay? Let's jump in this group home business. I like this thing, man. You can really, really help somebody. And one day, You only have to work on Mondays. But also, go get you some social proof, meaning go build something. Mind your mentors, but I need you to remember, document the process or how you built it so you can go back to your community and teach your community how you built the thing that you built. All right, we are out of here. Peace.